privileged to have a little bit, not much, a little bit input from the IBJ's point of view. And I think it's an extraordinary opportunity for young kids to see and learn in a more broader, not a siloed way, but they put that School of Informatics together. You can touch all kinds of disciplines. And I'd send my kid down there in that school in a minute. I liked it. It's a good idea. Yes?
Do you feel like you're your own Shark Tank? You're somebody that people would come to with business opportunities, and do you find that you would invest in something, even if you didn't know a lot about it, if I made a good case and you investigated on medical?
I don't watch Shark Tank. I watch 1 or 2 episodes. I don't like the attitude on Shark Tank. That's not me. So please don't call me a Shark Tanker. That's not me. But look, I do get lots and lots of opportunities, and I do look at a lot of things, and I do make investments. But I use the book that you got, maybe you're going to buy, as a Bible. And I follow those 10 essential principles. And if that opportunity doesn't meet those 10 essential principles, count me out. For example, control is one of the chapters in that book. At my age and situation, I don't want to be a minority investor, particularly in a closely held company. Too many bad things can happen. So I'll give you an example. Until he passed away, who was the richest guy in all of Indiana? Cook. Cook started out in a business in Michigan. They made needles. And he was a great businessman. And he made needles. But he owned a less than majority share of that corporation. And it came to pass that from that successful company that he wanted to sell and move on. And he was largely responsible for the success of the business. So when it went to sell, he was very disappointed that he didn't get anywhere near what he thought the value of that business was. And he couldn't, and there's nothing he could do because he owned a minority share in his closely held company. So he goes down to Bloomington and he starts something called Cook Industries. Okay? What percentage of Cook Industries did Bill Cook own?
100%.
100%. Right. The difference between a millionaire and a billionaire, Bill Cook. And so when I look at things that you're just telling me about, I look and say, well, wait a minute, can I control my destiny here? Control is very, very important. And that's one of the things we hadn't talked about yet, but I look at all those things. And yes, I do make some investments every year. I tell my kids this when they ask. You know, I used to be very happy to help my kids, and I would volunteer all kinds of things. And one day, my son Todd, who's in the real estate business with something called Holocar, you see his signs every once in a while, he said to me, I'm offering help, he said to me, Dad, we just don't do it that way anymore. So I felt pretty sad about that. So I don't offer any advice to my kids except when they ask for it. But here's one thing that they asked for. I said, patience is very important. And I said, this is my real estate son. I said, make 1 or 2 deals a year. That's all. Make sure they're good deals. 1 or 2 deals a year. Live a long time. You'll be the richest guy in Indiana. That's simple. And so I'm way oversimplified, but we can talk about other aspects of that. So yeah, I am in that business of looking for things from time to time, like 1 or 2 years.